What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Doc's Daily. It's Friday, September 5th. We are live and in full effect. I got Robert Ferringo with me here to talk football on a Friday. Ferringo's Football Friday.
There you go. I like it.
Whatever. I don't know. Keep going as you wish. F around and find out on a Friday. So we're live, full effect. Don't forget about Saturday show. That's tomorrow, 11 a.m. Me and Griffin Murphy. We got football to talk about. Thursday night football is behind us. So congratulations to those that had Dallas, plus the 8.5. Smart play. Congratulations to myself. I wore this shirt for a reason. It was therapy last night. Whiskey does help if you're in the Circuit Survivor and you had Philadelphia Eagles last night. Ooh, man, I'll tell you what, my watch, this is a true story, Robert. My watch, I'm a bigger guy, try to lose a little weight, be healthier, right? So I count my steps. My watch does. I don't. And I got a goal. Before halftime, my watch notified me how great I was doing in crushing my goals for the step. And I immediately took it off. It was like
pacing. Pacing.
Cowboys were up at that point, but I was pacing.
Yeah, you and a lot of other people. Like, honestly, I was rooting for you and you alone. But I was watching the game, the first half of my son, and I was kind of laughing. I was like, this would be kind of great if Dallas pulled the upset and knocked a bunch of people out all over the country. But, I mean, look, I talked about it with Strike Point Sports last night. We talked about it when we did our NFC East preview. When we did this, Dallas is going to be better than people think. Okay? Like they shouldn't have got rid of Parsons. Imagine if they had been able to re-sign him now. Imagine their best defensive player on the field with that team now, right? And this is what I saw when I was analyzing this team and breaking down this team. Everybody was selling their Cowboy stock. You got to be able to separate, I hate the Cowboys as much as anybody. I hate Jerry Jones. He's a loser. I want bad things to happen to the Cowboys. But objectively speaking, looking at this team, I liked what I saw. And I kind of liked what I saw last night.
Yeah, Dak didn't look bad. Turnovers win football games. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
Miles Sanders, God, that was awful, right? Because either they get a field goal there, which completely changes the calculus later in the game on that final drive, or they get a touchdown and take the lead and put, Philly in oh damn mode.
And I talk about this is the weirdest game. This is why everybody says this. Weird things happen on primetime games, right? Thursday night games. And this was the epitome of weird thing after weird thing after weird thing just kept stacking against this game or whatever. And then, you get that turnover and then all of a sudden Mother Nature says, hold my beer. We're going to time out for a minute. All momentum is killed. All momentum is killed for Philly. I'm like, what the, so then they come back and, for those of you that had the over, Mother Nature said no.
Listen, it's funny because that was probably the last pick for real. That was probably the last pick that was off of my card, was probably the over in that Thursday night game. I loved it. Yeah. I was talking with Nolan from Strike Point Sports off air. He had the Cowboys, obviously. And I was like, man, I think I got to pull the trigger on that over, blah, blah, blah. He's like, look, Thursday night games, never play over on Thursday night games. Thursday night games, they're sloppy. Stuff happens. So the whole first half, I'm texting him. I'm cursing his name for letting him talk me out of the over, right? I'm like, this is stupid. And then it ends up going under. So if you did have the under last night, you got lucky, but
you looked real good with the over at halftime. I was like, yeah, all right, we're gonna go over. I really considered it, and then there's 3 points scored in the whole second half was just nuts. The rain, weird, wonky game. I see Zip tonight. The worst thing about the game, the spit in the face. That was just bad on both sides.
There's no both sides to that. Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott at the end.
Dak spit first.
No, oh my God.
He spit first. And no, he baited him. If you don't think he baited him, he baited him. Jalen Carter was 100. Hold on. Jalen Carter's 100% wrong. He owned up to it, said it'll never happen again. It was a piss poor atmosphere, just bad look for him and just terrible. He let him get in his head. But if you don't think Dak initiated that,
It 100% didn't grow up. He's got to grow up. Listen,
I agree.
If I look across the bar at someone and give them a look and they come over and punch me in the face, they're in the wrong. You can't say, well, your look made me do it. Like, because he turned and spit on the ground, like, grow up. Not you, but Jalen Carter.
I know. I'm saying.
This is not a both sides thing. It was stupidity. They're just they're lucky they won that game. That's another reason I kind of wanted them to lose, is so I could laugh about that, because
I was like, oh my God, this happens if you have this Philly in the Survivor, I'm like, this happened. And I'm like, what? I immediately, I was like, this is, it drink responsibly, but that's when I started to pour doubles. I'm just saying right there,
I can't say that Philadelphia looked good at all, frankly.
Nope.
Like, they probably should have won that game, but like, there are definitely things to be concerned about. Now, I understand that they didn't have Jalen Carter. He is only one player. They did not look good stopping the run, number one. They had a ton of penalties, like 110 penalty yards, like just sloppy from start to finish. Their secondary did not look good. Like, give them credit. They're going up against Pickens and Lamb. But like, no, Adoree Jackson's going to be a problem, not in a good way. Quinyon Mitchell took a couple penalties. Like their secondary is an issue. And then Brown got hurt his back in the second half, the safety. Like, they're going to have issues on defense all season long, I feel like. So their offense was able to bail them out, and they kind of took advantage. Like, Dallas on that last play, like, how did they not know that they were spreading them out so Jalen Hurts could run that? Like, they still had.
How do you not know that? He's been doing it the whole game.
It was unbelievable. Like, as soon as I saw them line up, I'm like, Jalen Hurts going to run. Like, you got to bring your safety.
4 yards, first down, game over.
They were still playing too deep safety when a first down ends the game. Like little things like that. Like the Miles Sanders thing. Like, I'm not going to blame it on the coaching staff. He's the idiot that fumbled, right? But once you saw how the game was going, there has to be a kind of a conversation that, like, look, these guys can't stop us. As long as we don't beat ourselves. Like, don't do anything to beat yourself. Let's not turn the ball over. Right. Like, no stupid penalties, no turnovers. Dak, don't make any questionable throws, stuff like that. Like, if we don't beat ourselves, they can't stop us. So, just little things like that.
I thought both teams looked like it was the game one. Both teams looked. I was really a little surprised, though. I shouldn't be surprised, but I was a little surprised. Philly looked very undisciplined, and I mean, outside of the Jalen Carter's ring, all game they looked very undisciplined. That secondary is gonna be a problem, like you said, in a bad way, not in a good way. I think that's something to look forward. I'm happy to be past week one. I tell you what, I swear I lost 20 pounds last night pacing. But it is what it is, folks. But enough about last night's
regiment, circus.
I just rip the Band-Aid off. I'm either in or I'm out. Enough about last night, though. Let's talk about tonight's NFL. We got Chiefs Chargers in Brazil. Thoughts on tonight's game? Did this make your card? Did it not?
Didn't make my card. But I think I'm the only guy that likes the Chiefs. Like everybody on the site that I see has the Chargers. Everybody that I've talked to, anybody that I've watched, like, everybody likes the Chargers. I like the Chiefs. Like, what are we even talking about? Like I get that there are numbers screaming for a Kansas City regression this year, and they're not going to go 15-2 again. They are going to be worse, 12-5, maybe even 11-6, like something like that. They're good, but they're going to be in that 11-13 range. Okay, all the mathematics, their yards per point, their record in close games, everything points to Kansas City that they weren't as good last year as their record. They beat their Pythagorean wins number by like the largest margin ever, something like that. Okay, I get it. But I've already been through this. I've already seen this for 15 years plus with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Like, every single freaking year, it's like, They can't do this. They can't do this again. Their defensive yards per point, they're plus 24 turnover margin. Like, they can't do this again. And every year they did it. Like, Tom Brady, his greatness was part of it was that he defied math. He defied the laws of mathematics. And it's the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. Like, he's doing it. Like, they beat their season win total almost every single year. They've gone to 7 straight AFC championship games. They've been to 6 freaking Super Bowls, right? Like it's insane. Like, so why are we betting against Patrick Mahomes? If you like the Chargers, just don't bet the game. But like,
catch a falling knife, right? We say that all the time. Why are we trying to do that on the season? I mean, I want to watch this game. I want to watch this game. Probably try and live bet it. I'll get kind of on both sides. I don't like that it's in Brazil. The last year the field was horrible. So I don't know exactly. I don't know what the field looks like yet. I know you can find out weather reports and this and that, but I don't think I want to mess with some stuff. I'll probably live bet some stuff. Might get on some props, this and that. Kicker props are always good action for me.
I do like Kansas City. Now, this series has been close in recent years. I think of the last 7 games, 4 of them have been decided by 3 points or less, and the 5th one went to overtime and was decided by a touchdown. So these two, I think I wrote in my NFL Power Rankings, it's becoming like the Steelers Ravens series. You remember how the Steelers Ravens for like a decade, like every time the spread was 3 and somebody won by like 3 or 4 points.
Right. Yeah.
So that is the only thing. Recent trends that way are the only things that back me off. Like, everyone's talking about how Kansas City is due for regression. Let's talk about the Chargers for a second, okay? Like, Jim Harbaugh is not a guy I'm in a rush to bet against because he's been so good and so good against the number as a head coach in the NFL. So we'll put that over there. He's 5-0 in season against the spread in season openers in his NFL career. So let's just set that aside. Everything else about this game, like, the Chargers weren't as good as their record last year. They played one of the worst schedules in football last year. They didn't do anything particularly well except for not turn the ball over. Like, they played good defense and ran the ball, and they're like, you know what? We're just going to keep this game close. We have Justin Herbert, and he's better than your quarterback, so we're going to win 20-16 and stuff like that. So they were content like that. So that's number one. Is I don't think they were as good as their record. I don't think they're much better this year. I don't think that their additions matched their subtractions, especially when you talk about losing Bosa, losing Rashawn Slater, and things like that. Number 3, I think that this situation of playing in Brazil plays right into Kansas City's hands, okay? Like, Kansas City over the last 7 years has played in how many high-profile games? Super Bowls, big playoff games, Monday Night Football games.
They are not fazed by this.
They're not fazed by this. Like this is where they eat, man. Like, when the situation's kind of weird, we're in another country, we're playing on Friday night, all this, like, they lock in. Right. What have we seen from Justin Herbert in his career? When the lights shine brightest, that's when he's at his worst. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, again, if you like the Chargers tonight, or if you just don't like Kansas City, I say don't bet it. But for me, a bet on the Chargers, and they might cover and they might win, and I might look foolish for saying it, but sitting here right now 7 hours before the game time, I think it's stupidity to bet on the Chargers. Like, what are we doing? Like, you're telling me there aren't better games on Saturday or Sunday's card? Like, you want to poke the Chiefs? Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, I think I've learned my lesson at poking Andy Bear. I don't want to get involved with that. And, to your point, Tom Brady, we talked about the Patriots forever, and defying all the odds and this and that. If you want to get to GOAT status like Tom Brady, which Patrick Mahomes is on path to, in my opinion, you got to do against the odds stuff. I'm not going to bet when he regresses. Can they be a better team than they were last year without going 15-2? Yes.
Yep.
I think they can. I think they can win the Super Bowl, and they don't have to go 15-2 to do it. So this team, I'm not betting against them. I'll tell you that. But we got college football on tonight. You got anything going? I like the James Madison game. That's about the only thing I
thought that was a really odd line. I think I'm a little higher on Louisville than a lot of people. I like their coach. I like Miller Moss, the kid that they brought in from USC as a quarterback. I think he's going to be really, really good in that system. And, I don't know. The ACC had a pretty good weekend last week, right? And Louisville looked pretty good. I don't love this James Madison team, so I don't really understand why this number. You look at like the Bowling Green Cincinnati game. Excuse me. I forget who Pittsburgh is playing. Arkansas State. What I'm saying is, you look at some of these like other middle tier Power 4 conference teams and their opponents this year and their spreads, they're all in the low 20s. Okay, like high teens, low 20s for all those numbers. So why is this game only at 14.5? I don't mean that in like a red flag way. I mean that in like I think Louisville is being a little shorted here. So I'll just sit back and gain some information on both of these teams. I don't think it's a high value play, especially because I love a lot of stuff on Saturday.
That's fair. Yeah, you probably got a big card on Saturday. What you got on deck for the weekend? Tell everybody what you got.
Big card, 7-unit play on Saturday, and I have a 7-unit and a 5-unit play. I was going back and forth on which one of these I was going to make the higher play. I also have a bunch of 4 and 3 unit plays. So anybody that plays my card knows that I do a lot of like, I'll have 20 college plays, right? Which is like, oh my God, like crazy stuff. But a lot of them are like 1 and 2 unit plays. Like I play a lot, but I play small. It's part of the math of my system. And then I'll have 1 or 2 big plays. So it's like, okay, if some guy has 6 plays and they're all 4 and 5 units and they have 28 units going and I have 20 plays and the average is 2 units and I have 40, like, is there a big discrepancy there? There's really not, right? Only he's putting all of his eggs in one basket, so to speak, where if he goes 2 and 6 or 3 and 5, he's kind of screwed but anyway, I do have like several 3 and 4 unit plays. I like a lot of stuff this weekend. I really do. The NFL is weird. I only have 1 5 unit play, 6 unit play, 5 unit play in the NFL. Normally I am like gung ho week 1. Like normally I'm like, I got a 7, a 6 and a 5. And I've been waiting since July to release, but not this week. Like my 7 unit play was going to be Arizona over New Orleans when that number was 3.5. I bet it when it was 3.5 over the summer. I was like, oh my God, like I knew it would move, but I was hoping maybe 4, 4.5, like in that range. I'm not laying a touchdown on the freaking road. I love that one. I was hoping that Jaguars number would stay at 3. That was going to be a big play. Instead, it's like a 2 unit play. So I'm taking a much more cautious approach in the NFL because I didn't have a great NFL season last year. I had a winning football season, but it was in spite of NFL. I bet you I was like plus 13,000 in college football and like minus 10,000 in the NFL. So I'm being a little more cautious this week.
That's fair. I don't, I'll tell you what, this week 1, normally I'm head over heels in the NFL. And I'm not this week. And I don't know if it's the matchups or just, I don't like it. I'm really looking at the numbers and nothing really. I want to get involved with that Raiders Patriots game, but it's just crap on crap. It's just not a good game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like I should find an advantage there, but do I really want to look? Everything I feel like at this point in my head is more of a fishing expedition, other than about 5 plays that I like in the NFL this weekend. And that's probably 3 too many, to be honest with you, for this week. And a lot of them are just a fishing expedition. I'm just trying to see, it's my way of tracking it without tracking it.
Yeah.
If I got $20 on it, if I lose $20, I will remember that trend. I will remember that.
I am with you 1,000%. Again, that goes into my system of why I play so many games, right? Like any good poker player knows that sometimes you got to pay for information, right? Sometimes you will 100%. Lose a pot to get information, knowing that information is going to lead to so much more money down the road. I do that a lot too. I think that that's okay as long as you're aware of it. You're like, I don't love this play, but I'm going to get in on this game and kind of see how it happens. That's always part of my defense of betting the NFL preseason too, right? Is to flex some of those muscles of just getting back into, okay, I put $20, I put $50, I put whatever. I put $20 on this game, and now I'm into this game, and I'm watching it. And how does it go? Does it go the way I thought? Did it not go? It's the same thing here in week 1. Like, we're paying for information for some.
Yeah, absolutely.
For some of that. Like, normally I was talking about this last night with Tony. He seemed really hesitant, right? Like, kind of dipping the toe in the water. I'm like, no, F that. Like, I love the chaos. If I don't know, the books don't know. They don't know what's going on either. And I feel like they're at the disadvantage right now. So I'm attacked.
These lines... we've been staring at them for months.
You said you got 5. Who are a couple of the games that you like?
Well, listen, I'm on the Lions. I mean, it was almost a survivor pick for me, for real. Like, we talked about this on and off the camera, but I just think, I'll be wearing a shirt tomorrow for Saturday's show just because, and I got it from the Amon-Ra St. Brown collection, and it just says Green Bay sucks. And I'm just saying, forever and always, it'll be Green Bay sucks. So, I like I got some teaser type situations, like Washington's in a teaser for me. Seattle's in a teaser. Jacksonville, I tease through 0. A lot of people tell you not to. It is what it is. I feel like if I get it, I get it.
I almost released Jacksonville in a rated teaser. I have Houston in a teaser. I like that, teasing that up to 10. I'll be surprised if they get blown out of that game because of how good they are defensively. My question's about Houston are on the offensive side. I really like that teaser with the Seattle game too. You're talking about teasing that up to 8.5 or 9.5, something like that. You're giving me home field, a lot of revenge. What I think is the better.
Watch that game end up 9-12.
Better defense, right? 100%. So I like that. Be careful about Washington. Now, Washington, this is my prediction about Washington. They're going to come out and score a touchdown on their first possession. Okay, they will probably be up 10-0 or 14-0 in that game against the Giants. This is what I see. This is my vision, that they are going to be up big early, and anybody that has a Giants ticket is going to be cursing their name. And then slowly but surely, the Giants are going to come back, and then they're going to come back, and then they will have a second half lead at some point. And they're going to cut to the crowd, and everybody's going to be looking around like, what is happening? Maybe Washington wins the game. Maybe they don't win the game. But I just don't see a blowout in this game. And real quick, I think that's part of the reason for me why I don't love this week's card as much is we get a lot more. I feel like I need to go back and research this. I feel like we have a lot more divisional matchups in week one.
Agreed.
Right? Like that's what's throwing it off. That's what's throwing it off. Like,
yeah,
I'd rather have Detroit playing San Francisco and Green Bay playing
the Lions
playing Seattle.
Yeah, the Lions were playing Kansas City 2 years ago or last year, right after they won the Super Bowl. In Kansas City playing that. I can't ever remember opening up against Green Bay in Green Bay.
And Chicago and Minnesota. And Chicago, Atlanta and Tampa Bay.
Vikings, Bears.
Right. Like there's 4 or 5 divisional matchups that just injects such a different element into how you got to handicap these games. I love the fact that they backload the NFL schedule so that all those divisional games are late. So the teams are playing each other in December, battling for the division. I like that. I don't like divisional games week one. Again, like that Chicago-Minnesota game, that's going to be a great game, right? But I'm super hesitant because of that divisional angle. Same thing with that Atlanta-Tampa Bay. What if Atlanta was playing Chicago? Okay. And what if Tampa Bay was playing Minnesota?
Right.
Those are 2 more appealing games to me than two divisional games, right?
Well, because once he has a handicapper, this more than anybody. Once you get into it, there's certain things that just boom set off alarms.
Yeah,
divisional games. Home divisional dogs. You know what I mean? And for the Bears, stuff like that. Like I'm looking at the Ravens Buffalo game, and as much as I can't wait to see that game, just like Philly Dallas. I'm looking at that from a teaser aspect of how do I not take the Bills over a touchdown with a teaser when I think that game is going to end up just like Dallas and Philly in a divisional dogfight.
I don't disagree with you. However, when Baltimore beats teams, they usually rip their heads off. Right? Like Baltimore isn't one of those teams that kind of just beat you, just does enough to get by type of thing.
Right.
Like we've just seen them go rip shit ride on people before. Yep. They did it to Buffalo last year when they played them. Now that game was in Baltimore where the Ravens are a completely different animal. Okay. I give you that, but they have been great in week one against Harbaugh. They have that revenge angle and they just, I don't know. So I don't know. Like that's one where like, if it did get away from Buffalo, and I'm not saying that it's going to, like, I still think Buffalo wins this game or can win this game. So that's why I'm with you.
Yeah.
But if it got away from them and they end up losing by 17 points, I'm not going to panic or sweat anything about either one of these teams. I'm just going to be like, Baltimore does this. I've seen them do this to good teams before. Like,
and I just said, after tonight's game with, Chiefs Chargers, again, divisional game, I'm hesitant on that for the same thing. Baltimore could just run away from it, but really this should not have any effect on my thinking, but I'm going to watch this Chiefs Chargers game. And if it's close, I'm going to pull the trigger on that Buffalo over a touchdown and a teaser. And it's going to be semi-automatic because I'm going to fire hard and heavy. I'm telling you right now, it won't, I don't know. That's just my thinking. Stop Gio. He got teaser here. I have the Seahawks and the Texans minus 123, my favorite teaser of the week. I
like it. I'm with you on that. I did it as a 7-point teaser. It looks like you're doing it as a 6. And remember, make sure you're book shopping too, because I saw the majority of books had Texans +3, Seattle +2.5. I haven't checked this afternoon to see if it's changed. But go to his next comment. I figured I would square for the Cardinals Broncos. Everybody that's listening, I want you to remember something. And we talked about this on the football release party last night. Okay, 5 big favorites this week. Help me out here. There's Philadelphia, Washington, Cincinnati, Denver, and who else am I forgetting?
Pulling up big favorites, Arizona.
Oh, and Arizona.
Denver.
That's okay.
Yeah, Arizona, Denver.
What I would consider big favorites, 5.5 or more. That Cincinnati line is going to move. They'll be a 6.5 point favorite. I believe it's 6 years in a row. I know for a fact it's 5. I think it's 6 years in a row. A team that was favored by 6 or more in week 1 lost outright. It happens. One of them is going to lose. I'm not saying not cover. I'm saying lose outright. So be very careful with these like sure thing teasers and sure thing money line parlays. It's easy in week 1 to get caught up with. I'm speaking from experience here. I've done it before. Right. But I'm telling you right now, one of those teams is going to lose. And everyone the next day is going to be like, oh my God, can you believe that? It's like, yeah, I can. It happens every single year. You know, what was it? The Patriots beat the Bengals last year.
Anything in MLB before we get out of here?
7-unit play tonight. 7-unit play tonight. Love it. Love it. I haven't looked at much for tomorrow. The 7-unit play is the only play on my card. I don't have any free plays or anything like that. Like the game I'm interested in watching is I want to see how the Dodgers bounce back to getting swept by Pittsburgh. Baltimore just swept San Diego. So Baltimore has been kind of up and down, but they're just kind of a dangerous team right now. And the Dodgers, you know, they've been doing this for 3 months now, right? Like maybe they're just not as dominant as everybody thought they were. So keeping an eye on that. I know some very smart, sharp people like Boston tonight. Also watching that Toronto-New York series very closely.
I like that series.
Toronto has been scoring runs.
I like
their
Toronto.
lineup is awesome. Kind of like the over in that game, but it's one of those things where I'm like, they can't keep scoring 9 runs a game. Like at some point, right?
I mean, I don't know, you know.
Yeah. And
I mean, I'm also on the Brewers, you know, in a couple things. There's, you know, maybe a 2-team parlay somewhere along the line for me. You know?
No bad bet against the Brewers. That's for sure. But, you know, keep in mind, too, that, like, I don't know if anybody has been noticing on docs lately, but you know the sport that we have gone absolutely bonkers in over the last month? The WNBA.
Oh, yes.
We have been we got a lot of guys. Tony George, myself up over 4,000. Griffin and Nick have been hitting top plays. You know, like it's nothing. Like we got a lot of guys that are up really big in the WNBA. That is not an accident. The reason why that's happening is where are the odds makers putting their focus right now? They're putting their focus on football. So these other sports like WNBA and baseball are sliding through the cracks. Like my 7-unit play today is just a missed line. Like this line is seriously 40% off. I may talk about it. I can't because I tipped my hand on the game. But I'm looking at this. I'm like, and I feel like if this game was in July, they wouldn't have missed this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is the time. So just because football is full board, I love it as much as you do, right? Don't forget about these other sports because it is about having fun and betting the games you want to watch and all that stuff. It's about making money too. And if there's a good chance to make money on baseball or WNBA right now, like don't miss out.
I don't hate that at all. Don't forget, guys, free $60 account, link in description of the video. New customers, DocSports.com/free60. You can use that. Check out Robert's premium plays this weekend. 7-unit play tonight. He's got a big card for football. Ready to roll.
One other thing. I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on it, but I might have an 8-unit college football, like daily prop of the year tomorrow. Ooh. I think it's just going to be a 7-unit. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on the 8. But I can't say enough how much I love this play. Like, I think I should just pull the ripcord and just go 8-unit on it, but I will have either a 7 or 8-unit prop play on this. And I like it a lot.
Check that out. You can get the link in the description for the free 60. You can use it on that premium play like he's talking about. That's the good stuff right there. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to get out of here. Come back in about a half hour. We'll be back. What are the odds with Robert Fringo and Raphael? As far as that's 28 minutes or so. Gives you guys enough time for a potty break. Get something to drink, another cup of coffee, grab a sandwich, sit down. We're going to talk some more. We'll see you in about a half hour. Good luck unless you're against us.